So, FM26 is officially out, and with that, of course, comes a bunch of new Wonderkids. Now, we've made a video already looking at the best Wonderkids in terms of rating, but we know about Yamal, we know about Esteval. What about the players that I'm actually enjoying using that are obtainable in FM? Well, today, I'm bringing you my Wonderkid dream team. From my time in FM so far, the Wonderkids I've enjoyed, the ones I've seen develop very well. Some of these will cost you a fair chunk of money and are only for the elite clubs, but some you can sign for a very cheap fee. We've got some stars for you today, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments your favourite Wonderkid so far, so we'll have a big list for people to look at. But without further ado, let's get into my Wonderkid Dream 11. And I'm starting off with a goalkeeper. We'll be going position by position in this video, and I begin with the 19-year-old German shot stopper, Dennis Simon, or potentially Dennis Seaman, but I hope for his sake that it is Simon. Why is this guy my favourite? Well, he was my favourite in FM24 as well, for a number of reasons, but now he is even better than he once was. You are looking at Stuttgart's future number one, but he starts on loan at Paderborn in the German divisions, and he's valued at 15 million. Because of that, you can't sign him straight away, but if you wait for that loan to be up, then make your move. Before he becomes a regular at Stuttgart, that's when you want to sign him, and you'll get a 6'3" left-footed keeper that has amazing attributes for his age. He's got the physical attributes of having the jumping reach, but it's goalkeeping attributes where he really stands out, with only one attribute below a rating of 10, and that's his tendency for punching a ball, which isn't even an attribute that you might want to be that high, but he's got really good reflexes, throwing and distribution, one-on-one ability, handling as well, all at a good level, and he's still young, so he's going to get way better than this. And in terms of goalkeepers, he is certainly one of my favourites. I've been using him in my Manchester United save, so I am quite an elite club there, but hopefully whatever team you're managing, if you've got the budget, try and get him and you won't be disappointed. And by the way, if you do want to see that Man U save, you can find it on my channel, which is conveniently linked in the description. Now over there, we do plenty of FM content, more entertainment based than informative like we do on FMSCOUT, but I think the quality has gone up massively in the last 6 months or so. So if you haven't checked it out recently, make sure you come over. I'd really appreciate the support on the road to 60k subs. But that's our goalkeeper done, and now we've got another 10 players to go in this list. So make sure you smash the like button if you enjoy it, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the other Wonderkids, tactics and tutorials we do. But with that being said, let's move on to our centre backs, where I've actually picked out two German players. One, though, doesn't actually play in Germany. This is Matteo Palmer of Udinese's under-18 team. The Serie A player can play at right back, but is natural at centre-back, and there's a big reason I like this guy, because he has everything he needs physically already at only 17 to be a star. Granted, there are some areas of his game that need to improve. He's maybe not got the best technique, which you could argue is a problem. His first touch isn't amazing, but they're not at a terrible level. But what I love about him are those physicals. He's 6'4" at 17. By the time he's 20, 21, that likely have gone up to 6'5". Physically, he's already got 14 strength, 14 jumping reach, and he is quick. Again, this is at 17. Physical attributes tend to develop a lot between those 16 and 18 year ranges. So I imagine by the time he's 20, 21, you'll be looking at 16s and 15s in pretty much every area, making him an elite physical prospect. And he can be signed from Udinese for only 10 million quid, which is an absolute bargain deal. He's determined, and whilst I said there are some flaws in his game outside of physicals, he's still got 13 marking, 12 positioning, 13 heading, and 12 tackling, with good passing range as well. This is a defender that knows how to defend, and he knows how to do it at 17. So imagine him when he's in his later years of his career. He really is a great option, but he won't be this cheap for long. £10 million here will net you this player. In the saves that I've done so far, I've seen him move to Manchester City and start for them a few years in the future, which shows you the kind of levels he can get to. So he is an elite level talent available for 10 mil, and I think he's certainly worth it. But I may as well have called this video my German Wonderkid Dream 11, because our third player is also German. They seem to be producing some top talents at the minute, and I really like this centre-back as a bit of a cheaper option. It's Werder Bremen's under-19 Karim Koulibaly, who's an 18-year-old valued at about 5 million, who has now been at the club for a couple of years, having moved there from Hamburg. What you get here is a 6'3" left-footed defender. Obviously, left-footed defenders a bit harder to come by in that centre-back role, so that's a benefit, with some really good traits that suit his game well. You can tell he likes to have the ball, likes to switch the ball, bring the ball out of the defence and try long-range passes, which helps because he's got decent vision and passing for only an 18-year-old. Combine that with amazing physical attributes, where he's really strong, and defensive attributes of a high level as well. 12 dribbling, this is a centre-back that could easily do the libero role that is no longer in FM, but what is it called now? Overlapping centre-back maybe? Maybe it's advanced centre-back, I don't know exactly which one translates to libero at this point, but in terms of a basic role of a ball ball-playing defender. He has exactly what you'd want in that area. He's aggressive, anticipates the game well, brave and composed. Obviously, that left-footed ability with the traits, the physical attributes, and the technicals, all for 5 mil. This is a future world-class level defender for a really cheap fee. I say really cheap. 5 mil is obviously a lot for some clubs, but for what you're getting here, I'd be paying it tenfold. But fear not everybody in this video is German, so if you want to go for a different nation of players, then head over to Spain, where you'll find Jesus Fortea at Real Madrid's under-19 side. He's valued at about £7 million and has been at Real Madrid for a few years, having moved there from Atletico, and what you are getting is a right-back who's only 5'6", yes, but he has a lot of potential, and you're already seeing the kind of damage he could maybe do in that wing-back role going forward, with great pace. He's also got nice work rate as well for only an 18-year-old, with passing ability, technique, crossing and dribbling at the level you'd expect from a player coming out of one of the best academies in the world. He's got the first touch as well, and whilst defending isn't his strong suit, he still has 11 tackling and 10 positioning. It's certainly not bad. With nice teamwork and determination, he is likely going to fill that potential in a shorter time than most would be able to, and like I say, 18 years of age, this guy has huge potential to be one of the best right backs in the world. Real Madrid keep producing the good young talents, and you can sign him here for about 7 million, but granted, there's a lot of times in the saves where Real Madrid won't end up using him, and you can get him for even cheaper. So keep an eye on him, see what you want to do. He's never going to be the strongest or the tallest and win you loads of aerial duels, but if you want someone that can bomb forward and create chances, he is a great pick for fullback. But my favourite fullback this year, and arguably one of my favourite Wonderkids, he's already appeared in a few videos that we've done here on the channel. I'm trying to spread the gospel of Saba Kvrabashvili, who's a Georgian international left-back at 16. He plays for Dynamo Tbilisi. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but they're one of the best teams in his nation, and they have produced a top talent here who can be signed for only £1 million. And I mean, his attributes sell themselves, really. You can see at 16, the amount of yellow attributes he's got here at a good level already for only a 16-year-old is bonkers. He can play in a variety of positions. Physically, he's already got a lot to work with. Mentally, he is strong and determined, works hard, but it's technically where he shines with 15 passing, 14 crossing. This kid is trying to be De Bruyne, and he's got set piece ability too, with 12 long throws, 12 free kicks, and 13 corners. The technique, the marking, I've spoke about him before already, but in one of my saves where I was a few years in the future, only 2 years in, he was Juventus's starting left back, which shows you the ability he can get to in next to no time, and he's available for £1 million. He's an absolute no-brainer who I've covered many a time already, and I'll keep covering him until all of you guys have signed him. But as we move into the midfield, this is a player that did feature on our highest rated Wonderkids video, Nathan the Cat, who many people commented must have faked his age because at 16 he looks about 10 times as old as I do, and he is already an important player at one of Belgium's best sides in Anderlecht, an academy known for producing talent after talent as years have gone by. And yes, this guy is 40 million. I realise that is a lot of money, but this is my Wonderkid Dream 11, and if you're a team that has that kind of budget, sign him. In my Manchester United save, he ended up joining Manchester City and replaced Rodri in the base of their midfield, which tells you the level this guy is. And again, I could sit here and try and sell him to you, but at 16, you can see every attribute is already at a good level. There is no flaw in his game, mentally or physically. He's already got 5 traits to his name. He's 6'4", he's right-footed and can half use his left foot as well. And whilst technically he's not standout just yet, he doesn't need to be. The kid is 16 and he already looks like a senior player in men's football. He will go super far in every single save that you do, not just in some. Whether his potential falls at a higher or lower end of his range, it will not matter, because this guy will be a star purely based on the attributes he's got. He will be playing starting football at 16, he'll get tons of development by the time he's 18, and most of these yellows will be greens. If it wasn't for another man, he would be the best midfield Wonderkid this year for me, but there's one player that just tops him. And if you've been paying attention to any of the FM26 videos or just general discourse about the game, you would know this man would be in here. Ayoub Bouadi of Lille, who is one of only a few players, including Endrick, Esteval and Lamine Yamal, that actually has maximum potential in game. Every Wonderkid has a potential range, but his has the chance of being 200 potential. He can be the best player in the world. 80 million quid is a ton of money, and he really is only for the best teams in the world. But trust me, this is actually quite a good deal with 2 years left on his contract. Fullback, because in my Man U save, I keep bringing it up, but I ended up signing him later down the line and he cost me well over 100 million. And that might seem like a lot of money, but you are basically signing a guaranteed superstar midfielder. By the time he was 20, he had nearly 40 France international appearances. Physically, already a star. Mentally, a star. And technically, what do I need to say? He can defend well, he can create chances, he might not be a goal scorer, but everything else he can do to a T. He can play any role in midfield or the base of the midfield. This guy is a superstar, one of the highest nature, and Lille have a real talent on their hands that you all need to try and sign if you ever get the budget for him. But I know what you're all thinking, Jake, we don't always have those budgets. What about some options for his players that don't have so much money? Well, I've already given you a couple, but in the attackers section of this video, in our final four, there's only one player over 10 million. In fact, there's a couple here that you can sign for only £1 or £2 million. So let's get into those, but I'll start with the most expensive. And the player I've picked out is Saïd El Mala of FC Köln. Now, I will say with all these players, as much as I'm picking my Dream 11, I still haven't used every single Wonderkid in the game, so I don't know every single player, but from the ones that I've used so far, he has really stood out. He is a 6'2" left winger. He's available for around £30 million here from the Bundesliga, with really well-rounded physical attributes at 18 already. Great flair, determination, work rate, and then brilliant dribbling, crossing, and first touch. But like Nathan de Cat, he has a big strong suit in the fact that he's already a regular starter for his team, which means he will develop way quicker than most players do in your save. There's a lot of issues in FM where AI-controlled teams don't use their Wonderkids. For example, the right back at Real Madrid will likely never get a chance at Real Madrid, but because this lad is already a Bundesliga starter, he will develop at a massive rate. Now, in my save, I eventually signed him in 2030 on a free deal at the end of his contract. He was always valued at over 100 million, so actually 30 million here. It might be good to get on him early. If you're not going to sign him to start straight away, you're probably better leaving him at his club to play football and develop, but then you do risk a chance of his value going through the roof. To tell you how good this guy is at full growth, in my save, I had Kavica Kvaratskhelia on the left wing. This guy came in and took his position. That's how good he is. He's an absolute superstar on the left-hand side and definitely one of my favourite attackers. But a player that I love for both his ability and his name is Darwin Guagua of Independiente del Valle. They're a team out in Ecuador and they have been producing stars in recent years. Ecuador as a whole is on an absolute golden generation at the minute with Moises Caicedo, Kendry Paez, a bunch of others, and now Darwin Guagua is coming through, already an international for his team, can play through the middle or on the left-hand side of those attacking midfield roles. Available for about £1 million here. You can actually go and approach to sign him, but like many players in South America, if you are managing in England, you might have to wait a while before you are actually able to get in there. But either way, even if you played 100 games for his club here, he's still going to be pretty cheap because of the nation he's in. And you are then able to get a player that, yes, physically and mentally might need some work. In fact, mentally, he's actually not that bad. But physically, I will put my hands up and say he is definitely not the best. Granted, he is 17 and that will get way better, but you can ignore it. Technically, this guy is a star. 15 crossing, 16 dribbling, 16 first touch, 16 passing, 16 technique. I mentioned about De Bruyne earlier. This guy is basically getting to them levels already at 17. He is going to have, by the time he is 20 or 21, 18 passing, 18 technique, 18 first touch. His vision needs some work to match up with those areas of his game, but he is going to be a top player. And he tackles as well. He's not like he's afraid of that side of the game either. Can head the ball, he will get stuck in, he will score. I mean, what a no-brainer he is. If you have the budget to sign him, if you are able to, get him in, forget about him for a season, let him grow in your academy, and before you know it, this guy is going to be an 18, 19-year-old with 10s and 11s in his physicals and amazing technical attributes that will take him to the very, very top. But for our penultimate player, this is another South American gem. This time it's Xolos Tijuana's Gilberto Mora, a 16-year-old that did appear in our Top Wonderkids video that we released right at the start of the beta coming out, who you can sign for $5 million, and I've really enjoyed this guy. He is a very creative number 10, not to be confused with Rodrigo Mora. This is Gilberto, and this 5'6" diminutive midfielder can pull all the strings in your team. He can score, he can dribble, he can create. He's got 14 passing and 16 technique with great vision as well at 14, really determined with flair, decision making, concentration and composure of a player well above his years. He is going to be a star. Only being 16 here makes him one of the finest young prospects in the whole game. By the time he's 18, 19, you'll be looking at a totally different player, but he's already a Mexican international. If that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. Get in there, £5 million, get the deal done, and you've got a superstar ready to go. But now that leaves us with one player left, our striker, and one of my favourite picks that I've never spoken about on the channel yet, so you guys are going to absolutely love this one. But make sure you've smashed the like button and you've subscribed, and let me know down below your favourite Wonderkids. We'll have a big list for people to look at, and without further ado, let's introduce you to my favourite striker Wonderkid. And for this player, we're heading over to Kazakhstan, where there is a team called Kairat, who you might have seen in the news recently, are playing in the Champions League, and they've produced a youngster called Datsan Sapayev, who is meant to be the next superstar of Kazakhstan football. He's a striker, but he has already signed for Chelsea, and whilst he does go on to basically be the next Aguero in-game, he's not really going to be available for most of you guys. But don't worry, because Kairat, they have one of the best academies in Football Manager this year, and something seems to be in the water over there, because they have produced another great young talent. Meet Dowlet Oyunbasa, who is one of the highest rated Wonderkid strikers in terms of potential, but also in terms of what works in game. He is going to be unbelievably good in all of your saves. You can sign him for £2 million or so. He has no pre-agreed deal at any club. With a 16-year-old, he's already got the holy trinity of dribbling, finishing, and first touch at a good level. He's determined as well, which is great, and he's got great work rate and technique. Yes, he's maybe not the best passer yet, but he's 16. But for what you need in terms of just being that advanced forward, the guy leading your line, he's already got it. But it's when you get to the physicals where you go, okay, I can see the vision, because he's 5'3", he's got 1 strength, 2 jumping reach. If this guy tries to go shoulder to shoulder, he is going to get absolutely bullied. Even when he's 19, 20, at most these will have gone up to, 5s, 6s at the very most, even if you worked on it in individual training. But don't let that put you off, because he's never going to be shoulder to shoulder. Because if you ask this boy to run behind and develop that trait, you're getting a player with 17 acceleration, 19 agility, and 16 balance. Now, his pace does not match up with his acceleration at all, because he hasn't got the long stride that centre-backs do. If you don't know in FM, think of acceleration as your short burst and pace as how it is over the long term. Because he is a smaller player, he has that quick burst off the mark, but will get caught up eventually. But it should not matter. If he can break the line with that acceleration and the agility and balance, he's going to get that separation, he'll get the chances, and he will score. Again, all of this stuff you can work on, and by the time he is 18, 19, he does have pace of a decent level of 11 or 12, so you can work with it. But just know, you are getting a clinical finisher who is going to be super quick, and you can get all of this for £1 million or so. Are there better strikers in the game than him? Maybe, but in terms of what I like to see in games, someone unique, a totally unique profile, he is a great option. Obviously, it adds to it the fact that he's at a club and a nation that you don't normally see Wonderkids from. He's a bargain price as well, and for that reason he is going to be my Wonderkid striker in my Dream 11. But there you go, there's 11 of my favourite Wonderkids that I've found so far. Plenty more videos to come once we find even more though, bargains as well, not just Wonderkids, everything that you can think of, tactics and tutorials, all here on the channel. So make sure you stick around, and I'll see you in the next one.